Wapplers from around the world. This is our February 2025 Wappler Meetup. If any of you Wapplers out there have a special site that you want to show off, brag about, you have a tip or a trick on something you were able to make Wappler do, you want to share it with the community, we'd love to have you at a meetup. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Cheese, and I'm going to turn it over to him to explain his new creation. Take it away, Mr. Cheese.
Hello. Yeah. Right. So I think I'll just start with a quick demonstration of how we've implemented the system with a current live system. So we're replacing a live system with this grid stack implementation. So it allows for us to just have a single dashboard application for multiple user groups. In the past, what we've had to do, probably like many of you, is we've had to create a dashboard or a user environment for each specific group. We could mess around with show and hide regions and conditional regions, but we prefer to actually have specified areas for each group. So when you take this approach, you tend to redo the same thing again and again and again, and you still can't please everybody. People ask for people want to see different types of data. They don't all want to see the same thing. We're forever constantly in communication with our client base. They could be anywhere from an owner to huge property developers and those with multiple assets in multiple countries. So what we decided to do was try to build a system that allowed the user to define their own dashboard or user space. And in this way, we can accommodate everybody in all of their own personal requirements. So they can set it up exactly how they want to see it, the data that they want to see, and the color scheme that they wish to apply. We have customers with accessibility problems, visual problems, and some people want to use their company colors, and so they request customizations to their system. And it just, when you're working with one system for everybody, it's very difficult to keep everybody happy. So that's the purpose for this system. That's where it was born from. So there's nothing new really about GridStack. GridStack's been around for quite a long time. I think I've seen it several times on the Wappler community. So a few people I think are familiar with it, and its approach to allowing people to drag and drop. We'll call them widgets, but essentially just miniature containers. And it's just very useful. We found it really useful. It was quite restrictive. I don't think it was really intended for what we use it for. Maybe it was, I don't know. So we heavily modified it from the initial available library through the GridStack GitHub repository. Sorry, I've not prepared anything here, so I'm just chatting.
You're doing fine.
Yeah, so we adapted it for our own purposes. A lot of that was to do with responsiveness, storing to a database. We wanted our users to be able to save their own layouts, to apply their own color schemes, and then in that way we encompass all their requests in one go. If they want it white and purple and green, they can have that. If they want to just see their accounts or just to see their support, they can have that. If they want to see everything, and again, that's their choice, they can have that. So it's all based, if I show you here, are we working? Is it working? Yeah. So if I just open up a quick page, if we go to properties. So you can see here, each one of these widgets is just HTML. This was shown in your previous demonstration in December. There's nothing really special in here. You can see here. Yeah. So here is a widget. It's just standard HTML. I'm going to open this up. So, oh, what's that?
Oh, that's Zoom.
Ah, that's on my menu. There we go. I've added a menu to this now. Okay, let's go to property. Because initially, I can't see because this thing, can I move this? Yes. Right, initially, this menu here on the right-hand side at the top, this menu is all powered by the JavaScript. So it's not the easiest thing for resale purposes and for example, for John's usage, he may wish to add his own navigation to his own pages. Having this menu rendered via JavaScript is very difficult to then modify it to add your own navigation. So since the version you've got, John,
Yep.
I've added a little hidden menu, which is down here now. You can populate this with whatever you like.
Ah, excellent.
All right, because this menu up here is choices that you make as an administrator and is default in the JavaScript. If you've looked at my JavaScript, you'll see it's heavily obfuscated. And it's encrypted and protected.
Yeah.
Now, there's two reasons we do this. One is for our own purposes. We have some systems that have incredibly sensitive information on them, and all of our scripts and every single fixed asset on our site, all scripts are checksummed, and each checksum is checked. And if the value changes, then the whole system is disabled. This means that we can see quickly if a bad actor has accessed our files and made changes, as we rely heavily upon JavaScript. We don't want any JavaScript injection. We don't want people trying to inject crypto miners. You know, you may be good at security. You might be a penetration tester, but still, it's not easy to spot once you've been compromised. So this just allows us a level of protection that if somebody has managed to get into our backend, has managed to edit any of our files, our whole system will collapse based upon any changes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. And the second purpose is we put a hell of a lot of work into this, and we don't want to just give it away. So
Makes sense.
that's the purpose for that. Now, this here is just a Wappler website. Essentially, it is all in Wappler. It's a dynamic site with server actions. This is a Node.js version. Sorry, I'm using the Wappler beta, and sometimes it has problems rendering. Has anybody else noticed this?
No, but then I tend not to. I don't ever use the live data. I just have
Oh man, it's a
separate
night. Sometimes
browser.
it just displays a white screen, and I have to refresh or restart. And that's nothing to do with the actual the JavaScript. I think it's more a Wappler beta problem. So anyway, it's just a basic site connected to a database with API actions. Okay, so there's nothing special there in the setup. The only directory that is powering this whole thing is this directory here, dashboard assets. There's a collection of JavaScript files in here. And these are my production JavaScript files, and these are my development JavaScript files. They're just a mirror of each other. You can see here, if I open this file here, you can see I can clearly see the JavaScript and work with it. Yes. But if I open the minimized version, you'll see that's the same script. So we work with one and we develop with the other. One's the live production script and one's the development script. So there's just a set of JavaScript files and a couple of CSS files. That's it. That's the whole thing. So here's a live version. Let's just get rid of this. There we go. So this is for a property management side. So this is a business partner side. This is live data all coming from the database. I'm just going to change colors.
So
there we go. That's my preferred color scheme.
Okay.
Color schemes are easy. There's a palette built in here. You can make any changes that you wish to any of the colors and apply all of these to build your own color scheme. I've made some modifications since since your copy, John.
Yep.
So now you can reset just the palette back to a default. And we also, through one of our clients, they requested that the text in the menu, this text here, is separated from this text here. So if you make a primary text change, it doesn't affect the text. Wow, you see here it is affecting the text in the menu. But say if we want to overwrite this, we can now do that down here. Yes? Does that make sense?
Is there a reset button if I turn everything to black?
Yeah. Just hit clear.
Perfect. I always like to get out of trouble faster than I get into it.
Oh, tell me about it. This button here will totally reset the grid and restore everything, color and all of the widgets. Or you can just reset the colors. Okay, I'm just going to pick my colors.
The resetting of the colors is the new bit that's not on mine.
Yeah.
I've been using the reset grid a lot, dragging things around and then just hit that and boom, it's back as it was.
Yeah, which is especially useful, as you've seen, John, is that creating layouts sometimes, once you've hidden a widget and you've saved the layout, you might want to have the widget back again. So you just reset them so they all appear again. I'll give you an example of this rather than me sort of just talking about it. So I'm just going to pick a house. I'm going to pick an owner, one of these properties. This is live data. Excuse the waiting here. I'm got some backups running on my host machine at the moment. So this is a client. This is what the management company sees of one of their clients' properties. So they've got all the property details here, the balance, income, expenditure, disbursements, etc. These are just tables. I mean, we have put some filtering in here. We do like data tables, but we prefer to build our own tables and use our own templating system for these tables. Data tables are great, but we already use enough JavaScript. We just do this with a little bit of CSS just to make things look nice.
It is beautiful.
I think now in this era at the moment, I don't think there's no excuse for not putting some effort into the aesthetics of an application. There's no, everything's, especially now with the advent of AI, it's not really that difficult to create these things. We ourselves have probably gone through years and years of headbutting desks and headbutting the wall trying to get things to work. Whereas now people can just go to a DeepSeek or Claude or any other of these models now and just say, "Oh, make me a style sheet that's blue, green, yellow, and pink." And us guys, we probably have all sat there writing our own style files. I'm just going off on a tangent there. So anyway, this is just data that's coming from database. All forms are standard forms. This is the calendar, the same calendar that comes with Wappler, the full calendar implementation. It's just to show that all of everything that's available in Wappler, from formatting to components and all of those, the bells and whistles that come with Wappler, work with this seamlessly. It's no different to working with any other HTML page. There's nothing hidden. There's no specialized. You don't need no special skills. It can go straight in with what you've already got. You just apply your own style sheets. Try to keep it as easy and as simple as possible to integrate. Right. Okay. So what people want to see is, how does this work? Right. Okay. So, as I said, some people just want to see, data. They're not interested in all the forms, and, I'm just going to give you a quick. So we'll go here for building a reservations dashboard. Let's get rid of this one. We're not interested in account management. We just want to know about reservations. So here we go. We just have a reservations platform now. Now, if we refresh this, it will remember what we have here. That's based in local storage. Hopefully the backups are finished soon, because my poor laptop, it's suffering. So if we wanted to save this here, you're just going to, this is only available in the Node version, Node and PHP version, or those that are dynamic with database background, database connectivity.
You just answered my next question.
I mean, we can do it using IndexedDB, but again, once the user resets a session or restores their browser or deletes temporary data, any of those saves will be lost. We do have another version that allows you just to save multiple layouts and color schemes to the browser cache, but it's just not really feasible. It's not as useful as tying it into a database. It's all temporary if you're using IndexedDB or local storage. So we want this to be permanent. We want people to be able to just make changes. So now
most of the time this is going to be used with a dynamic site, so it's going to be PHP or Node anyway.
Yeah,
I suppose if you were going to push the HTML version, then maybe some way of just saving the local storage to a text file so you could restore it.
Yeah, I mean, or to JSON. It's just a JSON array.
Exactly.
It's just a key. It's just a paired keyed array. Really, it's just got a key and a value. And I love local storage.
Yeah. That's when they added that to Wappler, that was just a eureka moment.
Yeah, because otherwise we're messing around with it. We're writing our own scripts to manipulate it. Which is what we did before it was implemented into Wappler, which helped with this, because I've already got the experience of doing that. It just progressed from there, really. So I'll go back to this. So I've just saved this as a dashboard, as a reservations dashboard. Now, what I've got here is I've got my reservations and my calendar. But obviously now I've deleted, I want to see the form, to add the reservation. So I'm just going to restore these. That's that button again, John.
Yeah.
So we're just going to restore that back. And so
Will you be adding a feature whereby rather than resetting the whole thing and having to do what you're just doing just to get one widget restored, a way of having like the widgets in just a list so you can say, I'll add this widget and it would just chuck it to the bottom of the pile?
we have a version that we use that has a menu where you can drag the widgets to the menu.
Ah,
So you can remove this widget, you could unlock this widget and drag it off to the menu, and it resides there. And if you want it back, you just open the menu and click on it, and it returns it back to its visual form.
yeah, that could do it.
Yeah, so you can just drag it, or vice versa. You can drag it from the menu onto the canvas, and it will render that for you. I'll implement that because I like the feature. So here is just going to be our calendar view, our reservations view. Ah, there we go. So you can see here if we drag a date range. Oh, I remember to lock that. If we drag a date range here, you can see the dates are inserted into the form. You see those changing. So all the features of Wappler, i.e. click events, dynamic events, everything works with this. It doesn't change anything in the Wappler environment. So all those things that you use in your current systems, you can use in this. So sorry, yes?
I just said beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So I'm going to go back to, oh, my business partner is well into his herbal teas and all that type of stuff. So he has his own theme, which is called the fennel tea. So you can see there's just another version of it. So let's go. So what I should say is that, what do I want to say? So what people can do with this system, the important thing about this system is we don't have to keep creating pages for people. I'm going to reset again, just to give another example. So here I have half a dozen widgets on here. So if I wanted if I wanted to create a support ticket page, for example, I would just remove these, create support ticket. We're not interested in any of this stuff. We're just going to delete all of this. And we're just going to save this as support dashboard. And then we're going to reset that again. I'm not, I think Zoom is probably having an effect with my backups. There's not normally this is taking a lot longer to load than normal. So we're going to remove all of this. And now we're going to save this one as accounts overview dashboard. So all I've essentially done is just reset the widgets a couple of times, which has given me 3 pages now. I have my support dashboard, my reservations dashboard, and my accounts overview dashboard. So rather than create new pages, we just create new layouts. So I don't have to have an accounts page, a reservations page, and a support page.
Oh, man.
We just pick from the layouts that we want to use. So I know I want to see support. So rather than clicking on support in the navigation menu, I just change the layout to support. And if I want to then see reservations, I just then pick the reservations dashboard.
And all these
So-
are stored in the database, so you as the manager can create a new layout, and
You
then
can
all,
have as many layouts as you wish.
and all the users will see those layouts because
No, they're all independent to the user. So each
how-
user,
can you create a new layout? Say you're the manager and I'm the employee.
yes,
Can you roll out a layout that you've put together into my login?
yes. If we go, this is based on a templating page. If we go into this page here, we can see we have a hidden field here with a layout.
Right.
So if you disable, you can see here, if there's some options here to lock the theme and to lock the color. If you do this, you can see here. So layout locked. If we change this value to 1, you'll see it's commented. We'll change this value to 1. And we'll change the color scheme to 1. Now that's going to you'll see this menu here. This will now change.
And is this global for all the
Yes.
users logged in, or just for you as the?
That's for the administrator to decide if they want to disable that. You can see now I can't save a layout, I can't load a layout.
Yeah.
And it's applied my default color scheme. So I can set defaults here. This is the theme default.
Yeah.
And we have a default for the color scheme as well. It's in here somewhere. Got it. Yeah, this is the theme default, and then there's a layout default also.
Nice.
Do you have this connected to an administrator's dashboard someplace?
We do on our live systems. All of this is controlled by a back end. So we don't have to keep going in and just editing them fields manually. We do it dynamically in our own. We have a dashboard for the dashboard.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, because there's things that you don't want to rely upon a developer. You know, this guy's cost 175 quid an hour. What? And it's just like a mechanic. It doesn't matter if it takes 2 minutes, you're into the first hour. You know, so we allow our administrators. My business partner can make these changes in his administration area, and they'll be applied to the production area as soon as he clicks save. Alternatively, you can do it manually, but that's just in there that's some of the adaptations we made for reselling this on.
So that administration area is part of the package that you provide.
I will include it, yeah. I mean, as I said, my business partner has now said he wants to adopt this across all of our systems. So it's been under rapid development since I provided you with the demo version, John. There's been a hell of a lot of changes. We made, well, I've made, I don't know, countless amounts of changes in this now. But I will do, yeah, I will provide that administrator back end.
That's awesome.
It's not a complicated thing because there are very few variables that are configured, need to be configured by an administrator, and that's essentially it. Do you want to show this menu to the user or don't you? That's essentially all it is. If we restore that back again, I'm just going to go in here and set that back to 0 because now I want the user to be able to do this. I'm just reloading.
So presumably they could change that setting themselves by going into the browser console, but every time they refresh the page, it would revert back to the stored.
Yes. I mean, we have multiple layers we don't like manipulation of our variables. So that's stored in a database and it will always check the database value. It won't just accept the input value of the form input. It's likewise with the shopping carts. I think we've spoke about this. Sorry, I've got 3 cats in front of me at the moment. It's the same principle as with shopping carts. You know, it's easy to manipulate the local storage or the data store. But we want to check those values against database values. And that's where we're going to take our configuration from. So yeah, they may well try to override it using by editing a variable in the browser console. But as soon as they reload the page, it's going to ignore that.
Yeah.
But right. I mean, we have some very smart clients. I mean, 2 of our clients are engineers. One's been through Amazon and one's currently at Amazon, but has come from a Netflix background. Over here at the moment, we're seeing a massive influx of Americans. We've probably onboarded about 30 American clients in the last 6 weeks. And we're seeing a lot of tech guys moving over to Europe now to work here. And we've had assistance from one of the guys that's an Amazon engineer and another guy that's a Google engineer there. They've audited my code, they've been through it, they've made suggestions and alterations for me.
Well, congratulations on your success.
Then watching these guys write JavaScript is unbelievable. They write it as almost like it's their primary language. It's like us writing a Word document. Hello, my name is Mr. Cheese. I use the Wappler community. That's as I would type that sentence. It's how they write JavaScript or write SQL queries or whatever it may be, assembly or C or Go or Rust.
That's why it's worth 175 quid an hour.
God, you see these guys write, it's almost they are fluent.
That's awesome.
I'm just gobsmacked watching them work.
Well,
so it's very
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say it's very helpful to have some good minds to pick.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to ask if you can start from the beginning and show us how easy it is to incorporate this into a Wappler project. Is that
right?
I'll give it a try.
I'll try. Obviously, it's not planned for this.
Yeah, I understand. Everybody realizes this is live, and when you do a live presentation, you're always expected to fail, so that the bar is set very low.
Right. Okay. So let's start by creating a new folder, and we'll just call this a demo version. And then all we're going to do is we're going to go to my desktop and we're going to take this here and we're going to go, I've got a cat in front of me again. I'm going to paste this in here. I've just had a cat that's had both ears removed. So she's a bit.
It's kind of a mean thing to do.
Well, I didn't think she looked that great. I thought her ears were a bit big, so I just. Oh no, actually, let's stop there because Wappler's going to complain if I do that.
We know you're kidding.
No, she had ear cancer.
Oh, wow.
So
But you are a cat lover.
yeah, she's an old girl, and we've just, you got to do what you can for your animals, haven't you? So here we go. I'm not gonna go into templating pages. I'm not gonna go into Node. I'm just gonna do HTML here. Local server. Let's just use
Just do own server.
own server, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm just a Node guy, see? There we go. Right, so now we're going to paste that into there. Now we're just going to extract that. Now we're just going to take that, delete that, do that. There we go. I'm going to just take the demonstration file. Well, I'm just going to overwrite that.
This is a demonstration file?
Yes. So why is that telling me? There we go. What don't you like?
That the CSS file's missing.
CSS, nothing's. There we
John is your co-pilot.
go.
And we really are in trouble.
Yeah. Everything's in there.
When Wappler said about the components, you said no. When I did it, I said yes.
Right. Let's restart
It
this
just
then.
remaps the scripts.
It's still catching me out, this new version of Wappler, because it opens multiple windows.
Yes.
No, it's still. Right, I'm going to close that down and go back there and then delete all of this. All of that. Back there. Dump that. Open that. There we go. So all I've essentially done there is this is the directory. This is the zip file that I provide. This project's already all set up for Wappler. As you see, I've just unzipped it. I've created a new project in Wappler. I've unzipped the archive, and I've copy and pasted the contents of the archive into the newly created Wappler project. And that gives us this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to save that. There we go. So it really is, it is as easy as just copy and pasting, creating a Wappler project, extracting the archive, copy and pasting the files from within the archive into your empty Wappler project, and then just opening the project. That then gives you the basic, this is the same version you have, John.
Yeah.
There's just a load of widgets in here.
With static content.
Yeah, just static content. Nothing's contained in any of them. They're all editable. And they're all pretty easy. I mean, if you wanted to create a new one, just copy it, just open up an existing widget, like this one, for example, and just make your changes as you would normally do it within Wappler. Everything's just, you know, you can make whatever changes you like. There's nothing complicated in here. If you wanted to build a new widget, say you already have your sections. You're just going to copy a section. You're going to just create a blank widget. If we just look in here, it's just card body. So that's probably not the best. There's a blank widget. Okay. Here's just a basic blank widget. This container here. Paste your section in. Take an existing section from another website and just paste it into this container here. So we just say right. I'm still one of those guys that writes. Here you go. Come on. Oh. There we go. So you can see you're just going to paste it. You're just going to paste in what you want. Let's just add a section in there, or something or other. Come on.
you click that top left icon on the that window of our users, that's it. That'll probably
Perfect.
a bit.
Driving me mad.
Yeah.
So you can see, yeah, it's just that you can use any of the predefined blocks, or just drag and drop your own code in there, or cut and paste it into there, and then straight away you've got a new widget. Just get rid of all this. I hate doing stuff on the fly.
This is where what this when you very first posted this a couple of months ago, it was the slickness of GridJS, which is an excellent framework anyway.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that it's 100% integrated into Wappler, so I haven't got to change any of my Wappler techniques
No, you've not got to
or
change
go
anything.
any of the Wappler features to use it.
No, it's just so straightforward. So let's just drop that second column out of there. Oh, did I just delete everything?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I may have.
That's never happened to me.
We're all thinking that.
It's great. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Where's our little thing gone? There it is.
Good recovery, Mr. Cheese.
Control Z is your friend. There we go. And the pipe smoker, Ben.
Yep, I'm still here.
There you go. I mean, I probably didn't pick the best block to use.
Well,
Is there something more visual?
No, that's fine. I mean, that's given the kind of overview. That was as much as I was hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, just put in whatever you like. Really tried to just keep it as simple as possible. You know, it doesn't need to be overly complicated. The script's complicated enough. If people can just take what they already have. For example, we're in talks at the moment with a company that has quite a sophisticated platform, has a back end and a public front end. They have obviously their own company branding, and you know, we want it to be quite seamless for them. All they need to do is copy and paste into their current project, add the dashboard assets directory, and from that, then it's a straight implementation. It doesn't conflict with anything. I've been very careful with naming conventions within the script, so they don't conflict with anything, a function that may be named similarly in App Connect, for example. So when I introduce a new function or anything into this system, I always do a grep, a search across all of my DMX files to see if that function exists already. And then we just make sure that we don't name it, you know, we don't have conflicting naming convention. We don't name our functions the same as what Wappler may be using.
Yeah.
So I'm quite strict when I start implementing new functions into this, that they don't conflict with anything that currently exists. That's stuff that takes time, and you know, I've pretty much ensured I've been through everything to make sure there are no conflictions, no errors, and if we go into the console here, you might see an unknown component. But aside from that, I've got an unknown component for input checkbox. It's because it doesn't exist in Wappler. If we get rid of it, where's the checkbox? There's the checkbox. Because I did not build these forms in Wappler,
Ah,
okay? I built them outside of Wappler. So you can see here, this is not recognized by Wappler. Yeah, you see the error there?
yeah.
So if we just remove those, don't exist, and then we just refresh the page again, we won't get any errors now. Oh, input checkbox. Well, I've got a checkbox in here somewhere. Find an alert option. Add event widget. Oh, I just take it from me that
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, it's just a component thing.
Yeah.
But you can see here, this is all controlled by the debugging script, which we have within the. You could just disable that. You can remove this script. Yeah, we just have a debugging script here. This one.
Yeah.
You could just remove that. It's just very useful for the developer to see exactly to see if there are issues and to see that all functionality is working. You can see here it's telling you what you're doing.
Nice.
It's just very helpful for our purposes. Tom, move. Sorry, I'm moving a cat. It's sat in front of my monitor now. So yeah, I mean, just ask questions because I'll just keep talking rubbish now.
Okay. Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour, so a question and answer session is in order. This has been a wonderful presentation. I'd like to
Ah,
look forward to questions.
you're too kind, Mark.
I have a question. On your live data, you were showing it looked like the URL was encrypted. Is that right?
The script.
Well, no, I'm saying when you showed the URL, that it had a long funky thing at the end there. What are you doing there?
Oh, the UUID.
Yes. What's the how does that, I mean, I guess, how does that work? Or what are you doing there exactly?
I don't quite understand. Sorry.
I mean, are
Just
you
the,
are
I
you
guess the security of the script.
what's that?
The security, the way the unique URL to find the file, to find is using a UUID.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand. I mean, are you just naming something that UUID or is it?
Oh, okay. When I'm saving a layout.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know when you were showing the live data, the last bit of the URL was the
Here we go.
UUID.
I'm trying to remember all these passwords. What is this password? It would help if I could remember the business partner's passwords.
Uh,
Um, why am I having an issue here now?
Because you have a live audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Database is all connected, local Docker, admin area properties. Okay, I know what I did. I think I know what I did. It's going to do the same thing again, isn't it? No, I'm not having any problems. I just can't remember its bloody password.
don't worry.
Yeah. I mean, I was just curious on how that.
I'll hazard a guess that the data has a UUID field so that when selecting a specific record, it's using the UUID to get it, which means potentially you could give a link to someone without them actually needing to log in because the UUID is sufficiently random.
Yeah, I mean, we do, our UUIDs are very random. And we generate a token as well. I'll tell you what could be the problem at the moment is my business partner could be logged in using the system. Yeah, so I may not be able to log in as him at the moment.
Could be the token that you were seeing, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few going on.
Well, it was in the URL string, is where I saw it.
I saw it as well.
I didn't know if it was, if you were encrypting that string or if it's just I guess it's a UUID.
Take that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not part of the actual grid system.
Correct. I was just, I mean, I didn't mean to just sidetrack.
No.
I was just curious on what was going on there.
Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've done something or other anyway.
All right. Well, that's fine. I just,
No
Just-
worries. No
Questions.
worries. Does anybody else have any last minute questions before we close out the meetup?
No, just thank you, Mr. Cheese.
You're welcome. Sorry that it's been such a scruffy mess.
That not a
They're often the best way because you
Oh.
really get to see the real rather than the just what you want to show, as it were.
Yeah, because sometimes, let's see if we can log in as a. Why are you giving me an error? I've got multiple containers running at the moment.
no worries.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Don't worry yourself at all, Mr. Cheese. All
No,
right,
I'll look into it.
very good. I want to thank you, Mr. Cheese, for such a fabulous presentation
You're too kind, man.
and contribution to our the Wappler community. It's just it's a wonderful thing. I love this community. two housekeeping items. First off, join us next month. Mr. Brian English is going to show us, demonstrate AI in Wappler. And if any of you Wapplers out there have something you want to show off or a tip or trick, please reach out. We'd love to have you in a meetup. To that end, I want to thank everybody for your participation. I wish you all a very safe and prosperous new month. See you next month.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, Mark.
Thanks a lot.